Thank you for joining me today. We're going to learn how to do our first program on the Arduino microcontroller today. Here I have an Arduino Uno R3. Okay, this is the microcontroller we've been learning about. Today we're going to write a program, like I said, our first program to actually make something happen on this board. Here we have these pins, right, labeled 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, you can see here. We're going to write a program to control one of these pins, and the cool thing about this Arduino is it has this integrated LED right here, okay, and this integrated LED is actually attached to our number 13 pin. So we can actually do our first program to control one of these pins without actually even having to worry about connecting anything to these pins right now. Just to kind of get us started, we can actually program off of pin 13 and affect this little LED, which is pretty awesome. This thing's set up for us to be able to learn programming and microcontrollers very easily. So we are going to plug this thing into our computer and use the Arduino software to program this. So before we jump to our computer, I want to show you here. This is where we have our USB, right? We have our USB cable here. This thing goes into the Arduino. This end goes into the computer, right? So I'll just plug this in here, and we'll go ahead and look at the Arduino software and begin our program. Okay, now we're going to program that integrated LED to blink here. To do that, we need the software for the Arduino. If you don't already have it installed, you can get it right here, arduino.cc/en/software right here, and get the version for the operating system you're using, right, in these download options area. You can download it, install it, and then launch it after you've connected your Arduino to your computer and begin to program it. So I already have it installed and open, so we're going to go ahead and work on it here. Let me just rearrange it for us to see better. There we go. And so this is what Arduino looks like here. I've got version 1.8.13. And there are two areas here automatically for us in the coding environment to begin programming. The first is the void setup up here, and then the void loop here, right? Now the void setup is where I'm going to set what things I want to program, and the void loop is the code I'm going to run, as it says here, your main code, to run repeatedly, almost like a loop, right? Void loop, it's going to loop that code. So remember I said that the integrated LED was connected to pin 13, okay? And so I want to set pin 13 up as an output to begin programming it. And so we do that with the command here, pin mode, and it's important that you start out with this case, right? Lowercase and then uppercase M, right? And you'll see it light up at kind of like a pinkish reddish color, right, on the screen. And then we're gonna put our information in here in brackets. We wanted to do 13, right, for pin 13. And we want that to be an output because it's gonna put electricity out to light up that integrated LED. So I'm gonna type output, all caps, and it'll change color to like a blue-green color. And then I'm gonna end it with my bracket. And then to end this line, in most lines in Arduino here, we have to use semicolon to end those lines, okay? So all I've done here in void setup is I've set pin 13 as an output so that we can light up that LED that's connected to pin 13. So here in the void loop, we're going to put our main code, and it's going to run it in a loop repeatedly over and over again. It'll just continue to run it. So what we want to do here to determine that we've programmed and configured pin 13 and the integrated LED is we just want to turn the light on and turn it off at a specific interval, right? And so what we want to do is set this to high for on and low for off. And so we use a command called digital wave, digital write, and type it just like this with a capital W, and it'll change color just like pin mode did above. And then I'm gonna use my brackets again, specifying 13, because that's the one we're programming, and to turn it high, all uppercase in the bracket, and remember to use the semicolon, okay? That will turn the light on. Now, if I just put turn it on and then turn it low for off, it's gonna just turn it on and off at a rate so quick that it's just gonna look like it's on. My eyes won't be able to detect because it's gonna do this extremely fast. So I wanna slow it down so that my human eyes can actually see the light changing. So I will use what's called a delay, right? I'm gonna make it wait, be on and then wait for a minute. So delay, and then I'm gonna tell it how long. Now this is in milliseconds, so 1,000 is 1 second. So I'm gonna leave it on for about 1/4 of a second, so 250 milliseconds on, end our bracket, remember our semicolon, and then we wanna turn it back off. So similar to the way we turned it on, we're gonna use digital write. Digital write, bracket 13 once again, but this time low to turn it off. And then I'm gonna use the semicolon. Now, I want another delay after this too, because otherwise it's gonna be on, delay, off, on, right? And it's not gonna look right. So we want to also delay after, so there's a 1/4 of a second between both of these. So I'm gonna do delay, and I'll use another 1/4 of a second, right? So that it's just nice and even. It doesn't have to be even, but we're gonna make it even. Remember your semicolon, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're going to upload this sketch to our Arduino. Now remember, it has to be plugged into your computer through that USB port we mentioned earlier for this to work. So I'm gonna click upload, and you will see it's compiling sketch here at the bottom, filling that green bar up. And it says it's done uploading, and I look over at the Arduino now and it is blinking my lights. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the result here that you should now see. Okay, so here we are back with our Arduino, and as you can see here, I have the integrated LED. It's on right now. Now I've undone it so that I want to show you guys it actually uploading to the Arduino, because we have these send and receive lights here, and you'll notice them start to blink, and once it's finished uploading, it'll actually start flashing our lights. So I'm going to hit compile here on our screen just like we just did again, and it'll begin compiling, and you'll just see those lights flashed right for send and receive there. And now you'll notice our integrated LED that's connected to pin 13 is now flashing in 1/4 second intervals, right? It'll stay on and go off, right? And so we just successfully configured our Arduino microcontroller to apply voltage to our 13th pin there in intervals over and over again. And so that's your very first program on a microcontroller. And we can begin to think about what we can do with that, okay? In the future, we'll do a little bit more with that, and you'll see all the possibilities for that. So hopefully you were successful today, and hopefully you enjoyed working with me here with our Arduino, and we'll do more in the very near future.